Hello, sustainability professionals. I'm Jennifer Woofter from Strategic Sustainability Consulting, and today we're going to talk about how to use RSS feeds. Now, if you're like me, you read a lot of information on the internet. In fact, a lot of blogs are great ways to stay up to date with sustainability information. But it can be overwhelming to try to go to 18 different websites every day, and sometimes you can forget about them and come back and realize you've missed some really great information. So RSS feeds are a great way to manage information in a more streamlined way. So what we're doing today is showing an example of Google Reader. Now, Google Reader is one of many RSS readers. There are a variety out there, and you can just Google best RSS readers to give you an idea of the breadth of options out to you. But I like Google Reader because it works for anyone that has a Google account, and it's free and it is really easy. And so what you see here is I'm logged into Jennifer at sustainabilityconsulting.com, and you can go and as long as you have a Google account already, you can simply go to google.com/reader to go to your Google RSS reader, which will already be set up. So what you'll see here is in the upper left-hand corner, there's a subscribe button. So you click subscribe, and it will ask you to paste a URL, a feed URL. Now, there's a couple different ways to do that. So what does that actually mean? It means that any website that has a blog or has regularly updated information will have a feed. So we're looking here at Taiga Company, one of my favorite sources of green information. This is their blog, and you can see all the different blog entries, and you might be used to going directly to this page to read the information. What you want to look for is the blog RSS feed. So it's this little logo here. It looks like, usually it's orange, and it kind of looks like a speaker kind of going out. If you click on the RSS feed, it takes you to this funny looking page, and it has a bunch of code. What you want to do is copy and paste that information, that URL link. Go back to your Google Reader, hit subscribe, and paste that feed in. If I click add, it'll add it. Here you see under my subscriptions, now I have Taiga Company. So you can actually see that it's pulled exactly the blog entries that I wanted, and it will continue to update it. Google Reader generally updates on an hourly basis, although I believe you can change the settings. So what that means is that every time something is posted, it will automatically pull it. And as I add more subscriptions, now I can simply go to my Google Reader and see all of the new updates. And I can scroll down. And as I go past them, you can start to see there were originally 8 or 10 unread, and as I scroll down, it automatically knows that I've read them. So one thing is, if I have already been caught up to date on Julie's website, I might go click mark all as read, and that takes them all off. So if you find that you've subscribed to a lot of different feeds and it's just overwhelming, you've got thousands of unread things, what you can do is click mark all as read, and it essentially clears the slate, and it allows you to start from scratch. So let's start to see how it works. So this is the SSC website, and you can see that we have this little blog RSS link, and you can get that from any page, but you can also get it from the blog itself. So one of the things that's really cool about the Google RSS reader is that you don't necessarily need to click on and get that very complicated that text coding thing. What you can do is also just copy and paste the blog URL itself. So you can see here that I've just stopped at the blog. I can go back to the reader, and I can hit subscribe, and I can click add, and most of the time it will know how to translate that and find the RSS feed. So once again, here you can see the SSC blog, and here's the last 8 blog entries from this. So even if you get to a website that you really like, but you can't find that RSS link that takes you to that text, generally if you simply cut and paste the URL into the subscribe button or area, Google Reader is smart enough to figure that out for you, which I find to be really helpful. A couple of other things, you can change the feed settings. You can sort by newest, sort by oldest. You can also unsubscribe at any time. You can also rename the subscription. What you'll find is that sometimes feeds that you subscribe to, they haven't set it up correctly, and it ends up being some sort of title that instead of Taiga Company or SSC blog, it's called just blog. And how would you know if you've got 30 different feeds which one blog is? So you can rename the subscription to something that is personal to you. You can also translate into your language using Google Translate. It's a little bit hit and miss, but can be helpful if there's international blogs that you'd really like to follow. You can also find more like this. So if you've got and are trying to build your RSS feed into trying to find news sources, you can also find more like this, which is a great way to sort of get a sense of other blogs that you might like based on what's already in your feed. You can also create folders. So this is something that if you find, like me, that you want some sustainability stuff, but maybe some other stuff, maybe some fun things, you can also create folders. And so if I want to create a folder, it'll ask me, what would you like to call this new folder? And I want to call this one sustainability. Excellent. So I can also just drag Taiga Company and SSC blog into the sustainability folder, and now I can start to group things and address them more effectively. This is really important if you end up having a lot of blog feeds, particularly if they are in different categories. You'll want to be able to go to open up your reader and go straight into the topic that you want, whether it's fun, whether it's sustainability, whether it's corporate giving, whether it's company sort of industry websites, or whether it's news. So I generally have a news category as well that covers things like Fast Company, like Inc. Magazine. Sometimes I even will do Washington Post, although I find that with big sites like Huffington Post or with Washington Post or CNN, that it will often be so overwhelming that those are ones where I actually do want to go to the website and not run them through an RSS feed. But again, it's a bit of a trial and error. One of the nice things about an RSS reader is it's super easy to add things, and it is also super easy to unsubscribe. So what you want to do is sort of try to find the right balance for things that allow you to stay up to date with what you need to know, but not be overwhelmed and not be sucked in. I find that I spend probably 30 minutes every morning sort of getting myself caught up to speed with my blog feeds, and that includes just marking a bunch of things as read, diving in and reading a couple of the articles that really spark my attention and getting it out of the way. That helps me as a thing to do first in the morning, really helps me get set and understand what's going on today in the world of sustainability. And so I am a huge advocate of using an RSS feed and a blog reader to help streamline this process. Hope you find it useful.